Good Sunday morning. Wow. It's freezing. Holy crow. Winter is back. I mean, it is cold. It's breezy. And wow. Hey, good Sunday morning there. I'm all bubbled back up again. 2 layers deep in the bottom. 4 layers deep on the top. The buff. The heavy hat. It is cold. Heavy socks. Yeah, I mean, today is literally 20s and 30s. And thank goodness my fire didn't start, because technically you're not supposed to be burning any open fires until Monday because of the wind. We have lots of wind up here. So I had to put a lot of dirt on that fire last night to hopefully not let it ignite. But it's trying. It's like a little volcano getting ready to erupt. But wow, it's a Sunday morning. Not a lot here to spend a lot of time on. Got the dogs, the 4 puppies that are turning into the adult dogs right in front of our eyes. All have to see the vet today for their shots and evaluations and everything else. So let me get in the house and get right back to you on the Sunday morning conversation. Wow, everybody, winter is back. It really is. I don't think it's gonna last long, but boy, the cold weather is back here in the Virginia, Maryland, DC area. The ground is harder again. And wow, I did a lot of work yesterday. Even for me, some days, I'm amazed at even what I do for myself. As you progress in life, you know, you hit 62 years old, the body does function differently. They want not to accept that. Come on, Pops, we're all, there they are. There's a 4-pack. Let's get over here, get in the barn, because it's breezy. Got the Pioneer out yesterday. I can't get over that Husqvarna chainsaw. I believe I bought that chainsaw 20 plus years ago. Isn't that something? I mean, that thing is just really an incredible workhorse, the Rancher Husqvarna, and I just love that thing. And I need to get a new side case for it because the brake on it is broken. But other than that, I was blown away how that thing started right up yesterday after sitting. That thing's probably sitting a few years at least. Come on, Bobs, come up here. Hey, guys, are hungry? Are you hungry? So let's get you guys in. And yeah, so that chainsaw made a huge difference on me cutting up wood back there yesterday. Even that big ass tree that fell down. Pretty incredible how that thing's still pretty rock solid. Even it fell down, I think, like 2 or 3 years ago. So let's get here in the barn with the mess, with the dogs. Is everybody here? Come on, pups. The 4 adult dogs are here. Come on, pups. You know, it's incredible how I've changed up their feeding, and it just seems like Scout, who looked like he was going blind here a few months ago. I mean, it's just incredible how they're such a different animal that they were. But, you know, I was gone, you know. When I leave the property and these guys stay home, they don't get the exercise. I'm just outside person all the time. My wife's not like that at all. My wife's a homebody, and she just enjoys being inside the house. Totally opposite of me. We're totally opposite in so many ways. But, yeah, we're still together. And that's just incredible, really, to say the least, being that we're so opposite. So here we are. Puppies, let's get the food. Let's get the door kind of closed. Hey, Gypsy and Prince, let's get you guys in because it's so windy with that door open. And let's see if they kind of come in. They just kind of do their own thing, as always. But these guys here, it's incredible how big they're getting. It's incredible how the puppy days are in so many ways coming to an end, and they're getting to be adult dogs. And really, you know, like anybody else, what is their personality? You know, what starts to evolve out of their aggression? And we're gonna get them all fixed. If anybody here on my channel, I've always got my dogs fixed. I'm not up for the dogs that are, you know, still very manly like. So let's get in here and get some food out here for you. And let's see here what we got going on here. Oh, a lot of food. Yesterday, fed them pretty late today. And I guess they were very hungry. Kind of felt bad because it was supposed to 6 o'clock before I even got off that tractor. And the kid was busy inside cleaning and doing her homework. She is the homework girl. You know, what's interesting is we've crossed the bridge that we're going to sell our horse. I bought my daughter, Julie, a beautiful pony back, I think in 2017, if I remember right. And it's a beautiful horse, but you know what? those days have just kind of faded away for my daughter, and it's a lot of money. It's $1,100 a month board. So the board has been going up like just about every year. It just gets more and more expensive. That doesn't include the feed. You know, you can spend $2,000 a month just owning a horse in this area if you board it inside. Us, we're forced to board our horse inside because he has major issues of eating the wrong grasses, and then he gets serious health issues. We just about lost him back after we bought him so many years ago. Hey, Prince and Gypsy! So we were forced to put him inside a stall in a controlled environment of what he eats. And come here, pups. And so that makes the board that much more expensive. We used to field board them, and that was, I think, like $350 or something. But that didn't last very long if you got very sick. So anyway, my daughter, I'm telling my daughter here that, you know, you don't go and spend any time with that horse like you used to. So the horse just doesn't have, she's too busy. You know, she's going to school now. She's got a boyfriend. She works for me. And she's evolving. Plus the horse, she's grown out of the horse. Meaning that, you know, it's a pony. Believe it or not, that horse, that Gypsy Vanner that we bought, it's a big horse, but technically it's a pony. And at the level of horseback riding that she's evolved to, no, stop it. Evolved to, that horse really can't do what she wants it to do. So once again, we've kind of crossed the bridge. We were kind of putting the feelers out of letting him be. My wife doesn't want us to do it. She's against that. But for me, it's like the horse, I think is, I don't even know his age, to be honest with you. Julia knows that better than me. He may be 20 years old now. I think we got him. I don't know. I just can't tell you. But he's definitely 17 or 18 or 20 years old. And what you don't think about is when the horse gets sick. So we went through the ritual with that horse. And when he got sick, where Julia and I were going out to the barn twice a day to nebulize him because of his issues with his breathing. And, I mean, it was radical. I mean, we had to do that for months. And thank God, we've got a great boarder that owns the farm that goes out of the way to help take care of Prancer. Because when we go out of town, you know, she helps take care of him. So it's a very personal relationship. So it's nothing to do with, you know, us leaving or wanting to get rid of the horse because of the boarder. And that does happen. I've seen a lot of people come and go at barns over the years. And it's more about Julie just really is kind of come to closure. What I tell her is somebody else, some other young girl like you could enjoy when you were younger, could enjoy that horse and get as much love and enjoyment out of it. And she now sits back and thinks to herself, you're right, Dad. Why should I keep that horse to myself when I don't spend as much time with him? And somebody else could enjoy that horse while he's still healthy and in good health. And that's the thing that you have to think about. If that horse was to get ill again, my daughter and I, you know, just having the commitment to go out there and babysit that horse, we just don't have it. So really haven't talked in depth with my wife about this. She kind of opposes it. But it's like, yeah, but you don't get it. We used to have insurance on a horse. But what happens is, as the horse gets sick and gets called out on items, they don't cover those the next year you renew your policy. And so and then, you know, you have to go through the ritual of getting the horse checked out and this and that. Blah, 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 blah. So the whole point is, if he got really sick right now, it would be possibly a horrendous vet bill. And who's going to pay for that? I'm not going to be able to pay for it. I mean, I'm not in a position to do that stuff. I got my own challenges. So anyways, just let you know, anybody out there watching my channel lives local, or even if you're out of state, if you've seen the videos of my daughter on that horse, it's a beautiful horse. It'll definitely be a tearjerker. It's a Gypsy Vanner horse, and he's white and black. And he actually came, I believe, from Wyoming, is where he really came from. And we bought it locally here from another lady that had a daughter that kind of outgrew him, like Julia did. And, you know, so once again, it's if anybody out there kind of knows. And, you know, what we'd ask for him, I really don't know. I don't know really what the fair price of that horse would be. I can't honestly tell you at this point. I figured we'll just start putting the feelers out and see, because he has underlying health issues. And that's when you get the vet records, you'll see that. So that's a negative against him that somebody would be concerned about buying a horse. But all horses, for the most part, have something going on with them. So, but I think it'll be a huge tearjerker if we finally cross the bridge and that does play out. And I already know that, but I think my daughter's at the age that, as she gets older, it's like, where are you 5 years from now? Where are you 3 years from now? Where were you 3 years ago? Hey, come on, stop it. So, so once again, just kind of throwing that out there for anybody that knows others that are horse lovers that would want a beautiful horse. He's in excellent shape right now. There's no medical problems with him, but you have to feed him special hay and grain. That's the thing about him, and he needs to really be a horse boarded inside. He can't really be a field horse. He runs too much risk of eating wet hay, wet grasses. They get into his digestive system, and it screws them all up. So anyway, so now yesterday, I talked about Zelensky, and I said I really didn't want to continue to harbor on that guy because you heard what I said about him. And it was a pretty, it was a pretty loud statement from me. But I just think to myself, it's incredible, even though I don't really want to talk about him much. But today's not really a long video. But I got to say, it's beyond believable how much attention this guy is getting throughout the world. It really is. And I just think to myself, we're all stupid. The Democratic Party calls the Republicans stupid. The Republican Party calls the Democrats stupid. Well, I hate to break the bad news. The citizens of our country, we're all stupid. We all are stupid. And if you think you're smarter than me, you're not. You're just as dumb as me because we're giving our government an unprecedented amount of money through the tax system of this country, through personal, business, and now tariffs that are coming to our country. And yet the government, the bureaucracy, doesn't seem to know how to treat that money in the right way. And I can't say they don't use it the right way because they do in so many aspects of, other things in our society. But then you have the other section, the bad side of it is the USAID, the Doge that's exposing all this corruption of our country on the monies that are being taken and used to entitle the select few. And so that's my point is, you think to yourself, Ukraine, does anybody actually really know? This is the thing this is the biggest mystery to me in the world. Have you actually seen live media? Like in our country here, when the Democrats oppose Donald Trump, you see video after video after video of people protesting the streets, people standing in front of the Capitol. You hear people through the media, the news media, constantly belittling Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and it goes the other way for, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But you see all this video of actual citizens of our country and political figures that are challenging the opposing side of each other. Have you seen that in Ukraine? Have you ever seen a news broadcast in Ukraine where you see the politicians in the streets and the citizens in the streets that support what Zelensky's doing or do not support it? I have not. And now I'm sure somebody could say, well, you can go to this, network that's over in Europe or whatever it is. But for me, I'm totally, for the most part, in the dark of really, what is going on in Ukraine. Have you actually seen, I'm not talking about all these videos of people showing the drones of military being taken out and killed, and the short videos of the bombs blowing up buildings. But have you actually ever seen, like in our country, you're so exposed so much more in our country of you do something and the media is right there on your doorstep and they're going to, video everything you're doing, good or bad. Does anybody see that in Ukraine? And the reason I'm saying we're all dumb and stupid is because we're giving out billions of dollars to Ukraine, but does anybody in this country really know? Do you really know the real story in Ukraine? Do you actually hear from the opposing views in Ukraine? I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking about on the legacy media. I'm talking about just general media. You turn on the TV and you see what you see in our country. I haven't really seen it. I just don't. But I'm not the guy that watches TV and sits around my house all day, flipping the channels. That isn't who I am. And so, once again, I just think to myself, it's like, wow. We're in this major now division in our country now over Zelensky. It's never ending of the division of our country. And I think to myself, is Zelensky being used to have us focus on something of him, but there's something else bigger going on. So it's a distraction. Right now is all the world views and news from our perspective is all about Zelensky and the European Union and Russia and China. So you have to say to yourself, he's getting so much attention. Is he distracting us from something else that is actually going on? I mean, I just think that's all the time. Whenever he gets focused on one thing, but there's something over here going on, but you don't look over there, and something more radical is going on, unbeknownst to us, and it's just the masters of deception. Now, here's something very interesting. For Elon Musk, he point blank now, and Joe Rogan is telling Joe Rogan that should he expose our government to the amount of corruption that's going on with our Congress, our senators, how these people are getting their monies, how people are getting rich out of being politicians' country. He point blank says right now, if he truly exposes how these congressmen and senators really end up enriching themselves and make them very wealthy for their tenure, he will be assassinated. That's his exact words. Although you can go to X and you go to the Joe Rogan show and you get the highlights, and he's point blank telling Joe Rogan that he now knows for a fact, should he continue on the path to really expose the bureaucracy of our country, he will be assassinated. Wow, it's that bad, everybody. Why would he say that? I mean, why would he make that statement if he didn't know it was factual? So we have such the most corrupt government. I mean, we're back to the British times in so many ways, that the British Parliament and government is now the United States government of our country. It really is. Because the position is, what are you going to do to me? The political positions are that you just can't touch me. I have the judicial system around me where I can run my mouth. I can do things, whatever I want to do. And I'll get the judicial system that I pay off to make sure that I don't go to jail. I mean, it's so bad to see where we are in our society. So, but the problem in our society is everybody still, for the most part, gets their guaranteed paycheck, their guaranteed Social Security, their guaranteed Medicare, and I know that's all being challenged. Medicare, Medicaid. Most people still have a roof. They have a car. They have food. I mean, so there's nothing driving anybody here in this country to try to obliterate the bureaucracy and how deep and how bad it is in our country, because we're all too fat and happy. We're all too comfortable in our life. And so I just can't see this country ever getting radical on wanting to remove political figures, because it's just get up another day, go to work, and you get your paycheck, and the bombs aren't dropping. If the bombs aren't dropping in your own backyard, what's there to argue about or fight about? And for Zelensky, his message to our country was that just because we have separation of oceans, don't be so sure that that's going to continue to give you the security you think you have. Wow. I mean, when you hear this guy mouth it off like this, it's unbelievable. But here's what's really interesting. Did you know that Zelensky met with all the key Democratic members prior to Trump and J.D. Vance's meeting? Did you know that? So whether you realize it or not, it's now being exposed that Zelensky had a roundtable meeting with the Democratic Party, which totally opposes this bill, this deal that Donald Trump was trying to present to Zelensky. So you just have to say that Zelensky, who was already primed when he was going to see Trump and Vance, said, I'm not going to sign this friggin' bill. I just talked to the Democratic Party of this country that's telling me I'm an idiot, a fool, to go with Donald Trump's policies and views. I mean, beyond unbelievable, everybody. And the Democrats are the people that supported the war. So it's so corrupt. But here I'm going to finish it up, because the dogs are all getting wound up. And I'm going to let them out, because I'm getting ready to take care of other things, because we got a 11 o'clock appointment with the puppies, and let them run around, do their thing. And so here's the last thing I'm going to talk about. So this is pretty powerful, if you think about it, because it's coming from a person that has a lot of family and a lot of history of where this country is and where it's going. And I thought this was a really good article. So here we go. And it's always see this under this light here because of that light there. So I'm going to go over here to see if we can get a better view of it. But it's always a challenge. So right here, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, this tweet risks being reported and restricted, but I see necessity to say it out loud. Our enemy isn't Russia or Ukraine. It's not even China. It's the ones who induced and tried to perpetuate wars so they can launder billions of our money into their own pockets. It's the ones who funded revolts and instability all over the world via U.S. aid. It's the ones who have committed unspeakable crimes on children on an island and held themselves above the law. It's the ones who manipulated people with endless propaganda using our tax dollars. It's the ones who have been sown so much division among our own people. It's the ones who shot my dad, my uncle, and Donald Trump in the head. It's the ones who have poisoned our own people for years just so they can profit for more. They're the same group of people. And we will not stop. Whoops, I can't get this thing here. And we will not stop. Dang, it just doesn't end, everybody. It's so bad. I mean, I hate this stuff. Technology is about to drive you nuts. All right, so I just get out of that. So it's basically say at the end that we won't give up till we splinter this country or whatever. We have the most technology ever in our lifetime, but yet, do you actually know what's going on in Ukraine? I mean, come on, man. Are we stupid? Our country's stupid because we give all our tax dollars to the government that looks back at us and says, you know what? These citizens, they're just stupid. They won't figure it out. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's a blessed Sunday. Stay tuned for more adventures on Ice Age TV. And God bless and stay safe.